Welcome to another lesson of Xcode. In today's lesson, we're going to make a cookie clicker type game where a user has to click on a button or image to generate clicks, and then from those clicks they can take it to a shop where they can purchase upgrades and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. Let's start by just opening up Xcode, going to a new project, and we're going to go a single view application. I'm going to call mine Hero Clicker. And I'm going to start. Make sure you've got all of this stuff the same. So you can have your own name there, but make sure you've got it set to Swift, and this can be your own stuff. So next, and I'm just going to save it there. Now the first thing we want to do is get our main storyboard set up. I'm going to start with a couple of buttons. So my main clicker is going to be in the middle, and then I'm going to have a somewhat shop down here. So I'm just going to have 3 options, I think. Now I need some labels. There we go. I'm going to have my main title at the top. Now I'm calling my stuff in a main title. I'll call this one output. You obviously name it whatever yours is going to be. So for example, I'm just leaving it as main title so you know what I'm putting there. But if I wasn't, I'd call it, Hero Clicker or whatever it is. We also need I might actually make it a little better. I'll put it up here. And I'll call this one clicks. Clicks. And then just next to that one, maybe on this side, this is going to be my click, lowercase, click, output. He's going to be on this side. Okay. And I might even put another one here. Okay. And this is going to be for our multiplier. Cool. I might center it a little more as well. Alright, we'll see how that looks later. So this one will be, for now I'm just going to put click me, but we might put an image there after, just to make it look a little better. And where's the exact center? There it is. Are you in the center? Yeah, you are. Now these buttons down here, I'm going to name this button 2 times. 2x. This one will be 4x, and let's just go with 8x. We also need another label. We got clicks up there. I'm going to call this message output. Used to be lowercase. And with this one, this is going to be where it displays messages. I'm going to drag that all the way to the side. Whoops. Okay. And I might just move it down underneath. Center that text too. Yep, that's nice. All right, so there's our main sort of setup. We'll obviously make it look a little bit better later. But for now, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's jump into some coding. So up to our top here. Remember, if yours doesn't look like this, then obviously something's gone wrong. In this video, we're going to actually use our Viewdidload. So I'm going to delete that one out of there, but keep the Viewdidload and give yourself a bit of space. First thing we need to do is we need to put in our output. So I'm going to start with the click output. Drag it in. I'm going to say click output. And that is an outlet. Good. Then we also need our mult output. Then we also need our message output. And I'm happy just chunking these together. And just so maybe it's a bit more clear, I'm going to put outlets. Sometimes I find it easier if it's all sectioned off, easier to read. So there's our outlets. I'm going to copy this down here. And here I'm going to go variables. So we're going to need a couple of variables in this code. We're going to need obviously the click. So variable click equals 0. We also need variable mult equals 1. And if you're unsure why this equals what it is, well, we'll get there in a sec. And now we need our buttons in there. Now I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room here. Let's start with this one. So this is the click me button. And make sure it's an action, connect. So it's definitely an action because we get the curly brackets around it. I'm also going to bring in 2 times, make that an action, connect. Also need the 4 times, make sure that's an action, and connect. And then I'm also going to need the 8 times, which is 8 times and camel case that 8 times. Make sure it's an action and connect. Cool, so we've got all of our actions there and our click me button there, our Viewdidload down here. I'm going to make one more, and that's, we haven't really looked at functions before, but we're going to make a function here. So to make a function, I type func, and then I'm going to call this one error, bracket, bracket, and then a couple of curly brackets like that. And we'll get to why we're using this in a little bit. It's going to make our code a little easier. In fact, let's just do it now. If this is called, we want that to say there's an error. So message output.text equals incorrect operation. No, that's not the incorrect operation, but you don't have the clicks for that. Done. Cool. We might as well do our Viewdidload as well. So what a Viewdidload does is when the program starts, it sets whatever we want it to set in here. So mine looks like that for now, but what I'm going to do is when it starts, I'm going to say that click output.text equals nothing. I'm also going to say that mult output.text equals, might just say 1 for both actually and 0 for that one. And message output.text equals, and that can be that. So essentially what that means is when I start, it's not going to say click output. It should actually just say this stuff here. It doesn't like that because it wants to have that around it. Why don't I just say equals click? And it's going to give me an error, but that's okay. Equals what? That's a bit easier. Now, here comes the error. There we go. We just need to wrap our integer like so. I think I used the wrong one. There we go. And that will work now. Essentially, the reason it did that is because we're using an integer up here, and it needs to be, it wants it to be a string. So we just wrap it up as a string, but it still uses the same integer. Okay, cool. So we've kind of got our basics. Let's just have a look and see what it looks like. Mine's running on an iPhone 8, but anything is fine. Okay, here we go. And we're up. So you can see it says 0, 1, and there's no message down there. Nothing does anything yet. And I don't really like our layout, but that's for later on. All right, so back over here. Now we need to add up the clicks. And how do we get clicks? Well, we click the button. So we're going to do that first. So we say clicks, click equals click plus 1. So whenever they click this, they're going to get plus 1. And we actually want our multiplier in there. So click equals click times multiplier. And what that means is whenever they click that, whatever their multiplier is, it's going to go 1 times that. So well, we would add 1 times that. So at the moment, it's just going to go up by 1 because we've only got 1 times 1. So that's fine. We also need to say click output.text equals, And this is where we need to wrap our click again. I'm going to copy and paste from down here. Okay. So whenever we click now, it's going to display it up there, and our multiplier will display there. So that's all we really need for there. I don't think there's any more, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. Let's have a go at our multipliers. So this is where we use a little bit of selection here. So essentially, we don't want to make it that you can just get this for free. You need to actually do some clicking, some grinding in the game to actually get up levels, so to speak. So let's include that. So we say if click is greater than 100, I think that's fair, then mult equals 2. And we also need to remove some clicks off them. Click equals click minus 100. So we're going to remove 100 off them, and we may as well say output on message output dot text equals you well done on your upgrade to 2x. Now if they don't have the clicks, then we're going to call our function from earlier, which is down here. We just write error. Done. That was very easy. Now I'm going to copy and paste all of that into here. But this time I'm going to say 1000. Multiplier will go to 4. It's going to remove 1000, and that's going to say 4x. And then the same for here. This one's going to be 10,000. It's going to go to 8x. It's going to remove 10,000 and 8x. Okay, cool. Let's see how it runs. I'm going to run mine just on a smaller phone, iPhone 7. Hopefully it all works. So iPhone 8 can go. For now, just move him. I guess it is. All right, let's see. All right, so my clicks are going up. You don't have the clicks for that. You don't have the clicks for that. All right, let me just click through to 100. In fact, I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to go up here and set my clicks to 11100. Just because I don't want to have to click through 10,000 times. Let's try again. Okay, you can see my clicks. It's quite a bit. If I click here, it says, well done on your 2x upgrade. Now, that didn't change. I'd like that to change because when I click now, you can see it took the 100 off. So, just in here, we also need to maybe say that. Oops. Just because that's going to update our click message. And let's run it again. So now the user actually knows that he's clicked something. So click me, yep, it's going up by the 2x. And we need to also do a multiplier. Because I'm sure it is going, but it's not telling us. Text which happened down here. I'm just going to steal that, put that in there, put that in there. All right, let's try this again. Okay, we're in, clicking. There we go, just got a 2x upgrade, and that's working. Click that one. Got a 4x upgrade, it took it off. Click that one, should be going up by 4 now. And the big one, got an 8x upgrade, and that's going up to 8. And you can see it's going up nice and fast. There's probably an error here. If I click this, yeah, it's going to take me back to a 2x. And then I've run out of clicks for all that stuff. So I can just lose everything by clicking on that. Okay, Well, there's a bug there, as we've seen. You can have a go at fixing that. There is quite a not too hard way of fixing it. But in our next video, we'll make a bit of design here, maybe put an image in, maybe make these look a little better, and we'll try and just complete this application. So I'll see you in the next video.